Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Summer 2020. I'm Atlas, joined by the wonderful Wadid, who's switched his native language to English here for the final day of LCK, as he has done all season long. It's the end of week 4, very close to the end of the first round robin. And we could have a quick day here today. Wadid?
Yeah, such a one-sided day, I would say.
You'd expect so, but upsets have happened. We've had one. So far.
Only one game, by the way.
Yeah.
In LCK, there was only one game that it was actually upset. So I don't want that kind of situation that we can expect everything, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when you have T1 and Genji. Everyone wants to upset against those huge teams, right?
Exactly. I mean, these are our World Championship teams here in the LCK. We haven't had any others. As far as our Korean organizations are concerned, you go back, you look at Samsung taking 2 World Championships. There are many that good old SKT managed to take as well. So we don't want our dynasties to fall down, and we need to see some more from them as well. I think that T1 certainly has been coming back with a vengeance. I think Canna has been looking fantastic.
Oh, man.
I think ever since Cuz came back into the roster, LM had some good games, but then had some, average games as well. I think Cuz has really been a force for T1, and of course the rest of the map has looked fantastic, apart from effort, making some weird decisions here and there. He has been pretty consistent. Teddy and Faker need no introduction when it comes to consistency. They are extraordinarily good. On the other side of the rift, though, for our first matchup, Dynamics, they sort of fell off a cliff. They had a good run at the beginning against some weaker teams, but falling to Sandbox really was the icing on the cake, solidifying them as more of a 6th to 8th place team. As we are going to go into the points of the match. 2 teams with opposite momentum. T1 climbing up the standings, and Team Dynamics plummeting to the bottom.
Yeah, Dynamics had lost against Genji last game, and also there is 4 matches that you have to go through. That is T1 today, and after that there is DYN Gaming and DRX Genji in a row. So yeah, their schedule is rough.
Yeah, real rough.
Yeah, but they just need to deal with it, you know? They won against some bottom tier teams, but they need to prove that they are actual good team that you can actually win against some big teams, you know? But they couldn't. Yeah, not yet, but maybe today's the day that they can actually prove themselves against huge teams, right?
Exactly. I like this point 3, fight for the throne, Faker the unkillable Demon King versus Kuzan the Ice Queen.
Oh man.
As he does like playing a bit of Lissandra, who will be crowned with a victory here today. I believe Faker recently played Lissandra as well, so both of them may be fighting for that particular champion, but I highly doubt it. It's not exactly a coveted pick at the moment, but maybe if we see one of these 2 players pick up their very comfortable LeBlanc. Both of these players are, seasoned LeBlanc players. Faker probably the most famous one in the world.
Yeah.
Lissandra does very, very well into that champion. Faker absolutely destroyed a LeBlanc in their last matchup. You might remember that, the Circle of Frost after the distortion, making LeBlanc look very, very silly. Having a look at some of the team stats, some of them do come to mind as champion kills per minute looking pretty rough for T1, who are certainly stuck in the old ways of the LCK. I mean, we don't like killing champions, we like winning games.
I mean, let's be honest, they are most boring teams in LCK. There are 2 teams that they are actually not playing for kills, they are just playing for objectives and more of rotation in the game. But yeah, I guess it's kind of one-sided, but it's also one of the maybe longest game in LCK we can see today. But
might be the longest 2-0 that we've ever had.
Oh yeah, probably. But I hope that it's not happening, and today Kaz is playing.
Yeah, exactly. We've got Cuz back in the jungle here. No LM this time around. It's been Cuz for the last few matches.
Yeah.
As, of course, no other changes. Not going to be bringing in any of the rookies. Of course, there are so many players on T1, but we haven't really seen any of the others. Gumayushi, though, needs a bit of a shout-out. That guy is murdering solo queue. It has been for years and is still well and truly up there. Let's have a look over the side of Team Dynamics. Rich, the Faker of Hots, is up there, finally going to be facing off against his namesake on the other side of the rift. Beyond Kuzan, Dokdam, and Guga there. Of course, it's a veteran roster apart from Dokdam, of course. But the caliber of player certainly isn't up there, as these are our key players. Canna has been popping off. He's trying to save T1's abysmal champion kills per minute stat by killing as many people by himself as he can. 14 solo kills so far just in the summer split is insane.
How can you expect that, you are a rookie player and you're getting spotlighted between like Faker and Teddy.
I know, right?
That is actually crazy that he's getting like this much of like a spotlight. But the reason why he's getting spotlight is just he's good, you know?
Yeah, damn right.
He's so good player, and he's doing great in every single moments, like in lane and like after laning phase, his team fight is great. But also when Dynamics was good, Reach was the main player.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Carrying Dynamics. So I just want to see like a lot of things happening on the laning phase, and not in like just boring way. And also solo kills as well, you know?
The crazy thing is Kana has the most solo kills, but the least jungle participation.
Oh, man.
Of any other player.
So he's
11th
by
right
himself.
now. Yeah, he's actually just making all of this happen by himself. Whereas, on the other side, it is Rich getting a lot of help, but he's then able to translate that into a lot of carrying. Does about 27% of his team's damage, which is highest in the league. And when you've got Noguri here, when you've got, you know, Summit that likes to carry Keen as well, like these top laners that do like to take the bull by the horns,
yeah,
and really carry a game by themselves, that stat actually says a lot about Rich and what he gives to this team. Means that they are relatively top heavy against a T1 that are looking really strong on the top side of the map.
And he's also like one of the players who really likes to play Lucian on the top lane.
Oh yeah.
All the people are saying that Lucian top is not great. I mean, he showed up that Lucian is actually doable and viable on the top lane. And I think also their bot lane is really good on just their 2v2s, right? They're not like having some issues when jungler is not there. So I think that's also a strong part of the dynamics as well.
I also think that Dokdam is one of the better Aphelios players as well. He played it extraordinarily well in the promotion tournament. We'll see whether T1 are going to look at that as we jump into ban and pick for our first game. T1 trying to rocket themselves up the standings, 5-2 at the moment, only losing a few games early on in the season, and have since looked much, much better. As Senna going to be taken away immediately. The follow-up is going to be Faker's Twisted Fate. Karma off the board. The Senna ban, I think, is very interesting. We've seen a lot more Senna recently.
Farming Senna.
Yep. Going for that Manamune into the Black Cleaver. But not going to see it here today.
And also you mentioned about Dokdam's Aphelios, but Genji last time, they opened the Aphelios when he had 100% win rate on Aphelios, and they crashed Dokdam. So I think maybe Dynamics could change their pick orders, but I mean, it's still 5-2. It's still high win rate, right? And it's one of the comfort pick for Dynamics, so I don't think they are gonna change that much. But at the same time, I think T1, they really just want to pick Azure here.
Oh, 100%.
When they have Teddy, especially. And I just want to see more of
what
new picks.
T1. It's 10-13. It's 10-13.
I mean, as a support player, it's still fine to play Yuumi. I mean, if you're a good Yuumi, then you can use your passive a lot more, and you can hit some skill shots. Then it's completely fine. But yeah. It's not a great call for first pick, that's for sure though.
Yeah, that's very true. Volibear has been very strong, top lane or jungle. His debut in the top lane that Ixu did bring out made him look very balanced. Since then, he's had some really good performances. Noguri especially looking really good on it yesterday.
Yeah, and I think nowadays Volibear jungle is way more better than top lane because of his ability and one-on-one in the jungle.
Well, Ezreal bot, really strong bottom lane. This is a fantastic first round of picks on the red side.
Ugar really wants to move around the map, and also Ezreal is one of the good partner with bot nowadays, and he won't just choose Aphelios and Thresh. But yeah, one thing that is really weird that T1 is not picking up Aphelios that much, and that's maybe the reason why Teddy couldn't pick up the POG. In T1. Because he was not playing Aphelios that much. I think
needs the backup of the 200 years. That's he has only played 2 games and actually only won one of them. As Kuzan going to take the Azir into Faker.
Yeah, I think Faker is happy with this because he already said in the Instagram story that he really want to delete Azir because it's one of the boring I mean,
boring. He's been forced to play it many, many times.
Yeah, so I think Faker is already smiling that he's not playing Azir. But also, there are so many champions that Faker is playing now in solo, especially Nunu mid.
Oh, yeah. Is the Nunu mid going to come out here today is the question. How does it do into the Pigeon man, do you know? Any idea about the matchup?
I think Nunu doesn't care about the mid matchup. He cares about bot lane and top lane more.
Yeah, he just wants to make the biggest snowball ever and just chase it around the rift.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter what matchup you have on mid, you just need to snowball to top side and bot.
Oh, the puns coming out here. You guys know about Korean puns. Koreans love puns. That's why we decided to bust that one out. The Jace to be banned away from Canna, as Rich's champion pool has not been touched really whatsoever. So he can go towards the Lucian or the Aatrox.
Yeah.
That's his champion pool, by the way.
And
his Jace is actually another one, but that's banned.
Now in my head, there is only Nunu. Just imagine Oliver and Nunu just jumping into the tower.
It's like a menagerie. It's like... it's a Aphelios' crazy menagerie.
Yeah, and you know that it's just not normal Nunu. It's Faker's Nunu mid.
Oh, yeah.
That we can actually see. But, yeah, I guess
maybe that's not going to happen.
I mean,
Zoe's being considered at the moment.
I mean, stats never lie. They are one of the boring teams, you know, so...
Yes. Very true. We need late game scaling.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my opinion. Stats are saying that they are boring. That's not my personal opinion, by the way.
No, I know.
I'm just saying, guys.
I mean, I'm looking at the stats here as well. They have the longest game time by quite a margin.
Yep.
Especially as far as the LCK goes.
Yeah, I mean, if they pick Zoe, then...
Oh, Kog'Maw mid?
Oh, man!
This is just as Pog. This is absolutely just as Pog.
Yeah, I love it. And it's actually good against Azir as well. Cass already showed it in LEC. He was 1v9ing the game with mid.
I mean, it's just a better version. Oh my god, I hate everything. Oh, it would have been so good. Because it's like the same idea as mid Varus against Azir. You just outrange him and he can't do anything.
We don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, well now we can't because we've gone with Corki.
Azir Corki, Azir Corki.
Oh my god.
It's 2020, by the way.
Yeah, well. Obviously.
And almost half of the 2020.
I'm glad that you brought up the fact that T1 are a very boring team, and then they decided to pick the most boring mid matchup that we could see. As Rich is going to change his mind from a good pick and go to Sylas.
Okay. I think Dynamics is more about their mechanics and all the games, I guess, because obviously Azir is gonna roll mid against Corki in the early game, and also top lane is... I mean, Sylas is good against Cannon, but also it's a mechanical matchup as well.
Also a sick ulti to steal. We've seen this by Canna, actually. It was Canna that was able to save that game, if you guys remember, with his amazing slicing Maelstrom.
And also they have Graves and Bard in the same team. Normally when you pick Graves kind of jungle that is actually like focused on damage, then you pick like CC main
or a tanky support, right?
Yeah, but this time they just decide to snowball and not going to the normal way against the T1, and I think this is actually great idea because most of the bottom teams are just failing against T1 when they try to just fight 5v5 and just go for the late game because they have T1 have Faker and Teddy, right? That is not the right way to play against T1, but I think Dynamics choose the right way to play against this team, and also the picks are just supporting those plays that they have to make in the early game. So I think, it depends on their plays, in-game plays, especially in early game.
And I think it's like mid-game especially is when this composition really spikes. It's actually amazing between like level 6 to 10. Especially once you get your Mirror Mana online for Doctarm, like 2-item spike for Ezreal is just absolutely huge. And then the Bard can set up those plays a little bit better. I think that Bard, like, with the Tempered Fate, really changes how you have to team fight because you can make it so messy by creating these 5v3s, 5v2s, depending on how well the Bard lands his ultimate. You know all about this, of course, we did, being our resident Bard OTP. So looking forward to seeing what you think about what Guga has done so far. I believe he's played a bit of Bard so far.
Yeah, I mean, he was...
Actually looked pretty good.
I already indid his Bard. Like, his Bard is great.
All right,
but
well, that's exciting.
But I cannot agree with his rune setting because personally I think Guardian is really bad nowadays.
Yeah, that seems average.
Yeah. I mean, it's average. It's normal.
Yeah.
but it's still fine.
What do you take when you play Bard?
Phase rush.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I like electrocute Bard. I don't know, man. I think if
Yeah.
you're going to meep slap them, you may as well meep slap them for as much damage as possible.
And yeah, there is little tempo on Teddy. He is looking for late game, 100% sure.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is a new one. We've seen since the Conqueror nerf, a lot of people still staying on the Conqueror, Deft being one of those. We saw Press the Attack happen, which works amazingly well with your Onslaught because you can proc it like really, really easily. But Lethal Tempo is a new one, and this is going to mean that when you get the Caitlyn Draven, as our good friend LS likes to say, oh, Guga's got his iron.
Yeah,
That's
I mean the reason why he picked up Little Tempo is mainly because of like Conqueror Strikes, right?
Yeah.
When enemy has front lane champion like tanks, then Conqueror is so great. Their tanks became your bloodthirster, right? Yeah, this time around, Dynamics has no tank. No front lane, so there is no reason to just pick up Conqueror. So this is great choice, but at the same time, Little Tempo is just purely for the late game as well, you know?
Oh yeah, the
Not
amount of
for the
scaling that you have with that item is just nuts. Looking forward to seeing how it goes here as Rich avoids the Shuriken. Canna's going to have a very good time in the laning phase though, as you can see, taking the Unsealed Spellbook, as most of our just true AP cannons are going to take.
I mean, it's really obvious that they're gonna control mid lane because of the matchup, right? So I think they just shouldn't just farm it up until like 15 minutes. They just need to make a lot of situations with mid pressure.
There's the Abduct doing some work there from Rich. Doesn't get the Chain Lash onto Canna though.
Yeah, they just need to snowball from early. If they just farm it off until like 30 minutes, then they're just gonna lose automatically because of lack of CC, lack of carry players. And all those things are just making it harder when you go to the late game.
They need massive snowball. They need to be able to fight Corki before he hits his power spikes.
Exactly.
Like, this is about like, get him while he's in between his like first and second item. That's the dream. As Kuz, looking for the mid lane, actually sneaks. But Kuzan is on the right side of the map, despite his jungler being bot side. I think that's because they knew where Kuz was and that ward being in the river. So Kuz not going to be able to find any joy. An intelligent positioning here from Kuzan. I think somewhere LS is smiling at how he played that positionally. As Kuz will be able to take down this Rift Scuttler, and they'll trade 1-for-1 on that one. So no real worry about invades, apart from Beyond just getting in here and stealing away some Krugs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Teddy.
they can look for the goose, but
yeah, Teddy gets this. Yeah, that's the hook. It's going to get right past Guga somehow, but Effort's in trouble, has to get himself the shield, and now Beyond is going to come in the minion wave at the perfect timing as Teddy spreads all of the gravitum and gets a really nice snare. He's a one-man army, even at level 3.
Yeah, their early trades were just way better than them, so even the Graves was there. I think they knew it before and also made them.
Well, in goes Kuz. Flash available from Kuzan, but the stun still lands. So great gank and does get a good amount of damage onto Kuzan as well. They push out this wave. Oh, I'm scared for Dynamics already.
Yeah, I mean, it's already getting harder, in my opinion. They already spotted Graves' position, and Kuz is already just invading enemy jungle. Are they gonna just
Yeah, they're just looking straight up for the dive. Exhaust is on cooldown. Teleport comes in from T1 as Beyond is going to turn up as well. Control Ward goes down into the brush.
Okay.
As Faker, I think, was just coming back to lane, and so decides to come back to the bottom lane instead. This is an interesting maneuver.
I mean, it's fine. It's still like TP for reset, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You just didn't TP on mid, you just TP on bot lane. I don't think they just planned for dive. They were just like looking for some opportunities, but nothing happened. But these are just still great for T1 because obviously they are looking for late game, right? They have Corki mid, they have...
Yeah, Corki failures. As soon as you see that, you know that you're going for late game.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, Dynamics, they just need to do something more in the early game. I already talked about it, and I don't think they can actually snowball this timing, especially their Azir lost his flash as well, and their bot lane is getting pushed in.
And their bot lane should not be losing. Like, Ezreal's bot is, like, that's a scary lane to deal with.
I mean, it's great Ollie, but the time goes on, and when
of course.
Yeah, when you get hooked, then you can actually get one shot. And also, Teddy did a great trade in like level 4, so that was great.
Well, in goes Cousin. Oh no, Rich is gonna have to use his own slicing maelstrom because just walks on over. Canna could be in a little bit of trouble. Kingslayer doing some work, but the alcove ain't gonna save you, my friend. He flashes, Cuz flashes after him. Teleport comes forward. Canna's in trouble as Beyond just flashes on top of him. And now Cuz getting kited here by Beyond. In goes Kuzan and picks up a kill for himself. So 2 for 1 in favor of Dynamics. They needed that top lane.
So they ended up just with the great Wizard as well. Azir, he was kind of like having a hard time on the mid lane. But with TP, Kuzan, he got it right. Was folding.
Yeah, pretty smooth. There's now the Crescendum doing some work. Oh my god, Infernum damage is nutty, but switches over to the Draven Cogmore. And somehow this Thresh Aphelios is looking like an early game combo, which is absolutely not what you want if you're a Dynamics fan.
I mean, that's because of support matchup mainly. Like when Thresh gets like level 5, level 4 and 5, he's tankier, right? So
yeah,
you don't care about poke anymore. And it's all about first reset, and they survived before that, so that is okay now, and their matchup is completely fine for now. And also that's because of the AD carries item difference. Ezreal, he needs to build
true. First back is a really rough time for Ezreal. You're right.
First back is just rough time. But on the top side, that was just real great play by Dynamics. I mean, at first that looked like really bad play by Reach, but Cuz's Q was not on time. Couldn't
also,
land it.
He bought a lot of time here.
Yeah, he couldn't land the CC in time, so it ended up really bad. And also Kuzan picked up 1 kill when he had rough time in the mid lane as Azir against Corki.
Almost has his flashback up as well, so likely to get out of the woods. But you can see that T1 is still 500 gold in the lead, just because they're farming better in every lane. Teddy is just too far ahead as the Aphelios into Ezreal. Cuz over here is going to lose out on Shelly.
Man.
Beyond just going to pick that one up by himself. Thanks for the leash, says Dynamics, as Beyond has the most gold in the game. He's almost double the CS.
Yeah,
which you'd expect he'd be ahead, right? But like, that's crazy. Already has his Warrior Enchant. This is a very scary bot. Graves.
Yeah. A lot of jungle Volibears in LCK is failing. I'm seeing that. And I personally think Volibear is early game jungle, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, no, I think so too.
Because you win.
Invading.
Yeah, because you win most of one-on-one in jungle. So yeah, I expected more from Volibear in the early game, but it's Graves. And yeah, I mean, he's already doing great with Graves, and he stole Headed as well.
Ooh,
so
this could be a big opportunity, but Beyond I don't think has been spotted in this brush.
yeah.
Walks around, he'll be spotted now, but Faker's back in the mid lane. Canna gonna get out of there with the Lightning Rush, thankfully for the cannon. The Abduct did not land, so no opportunity here for the Graves.
Yeah, I mean, even though Graves is so far ahead on Volibear, I feel like T1 is just on the comfort zone.
Oh yeah, they don't care.
When you see the CS difference on the mid and AD carry, they're just already in the form of just T1 Dynasty.
Yep. They're just chilling. Absolutely chilling. And the fact that you're like 20 CS ahead as Aphelios into Ezreal is just insane. So T1 obviously understand that they do not have to do anything. Effort's going to move on over. There's the Lantern Ride. Great playback there from Effort. And Doctarm is well and truly dead. Effort steals away the kill. But Teddy's not going to be too worried because he just wants to get back to killing these creeps. Doctarm caught sleeping right there.
This bowling matchup is just over.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There is no way Ezreal can win against Teddy anymore. Because of the summoner spells difference as well, there is no way they can just problem solve between both of them. They just need some help from Beyond probably. But yeah.
This gold lead is insane. It's 1,000 gold and it's just a few kills that have really happened as Effort just walks on in and Doctarm just was not ready. couldn't even flash.
I mean, that was just way too deep. Bard was just getting vision.
And Meep priority. So Warriors Beyond looking for the dive up top lane. Does have the Rift Herald that Cuz delivered to him. They're going to put that one down as Canna's making his way back to lane. So Rich continuing to get a lot of support from his team. His effort, a lot of vision. That Teddy and Effort are just getting turret plates by themselves.
Yeah, I mean, even though Brave is this bad, I don't think they can help their bot lane, because I don't think they can win 3v3 on the bot lane, bot side ever.
Yeah.
Like, especially with that composition, right? I already talked about the lack of CC on Dynamic side, so it will make it even harder when you think about the bot lane skirmishes, right?
Well, Rich looking to try and get here on top of Canna, who will get zoned away from a lot of CS. Thankfully, the the Canna minion is going to be able to pick up a lot of that aggro. Canna does have Ignite now, but doesn't look like it's going to quite be enough. So the cannon being abused just a little bit, since level 9, or level 10 actually, has been gained here by Rich.
I mean, it doesn't matter because of his CS, right?
Yeah.
His CS is not that behind on Reach as well, so everything is just going so smooth for T1. And the thing is, they don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
All they need to do is just farming.
Sort of like you're watching the train just slowly gather speed.
Oh, yeah. I guess this is farming simulator competition.
That's a great game, by the way. Farming simulator.
And you know that there is actually a competition match.
Is there?
For
Farming Simulator esports?
Yeah.
So I thought that's what we're watching right now.
That's what I'm saying.
I need to check out some Farming Simulator esports if that exists.
Yeah, I heard that that is actually existing.
I love it. Perfect. T1 needs to get a team.
When Faker retires?
Oh, there we go. No. He's a Polybridge world champion.
Oh, yeah.
That's 100% what he's going to be doing. As Beyond looking for a bit of invade, and is just going to be able to steal away the big wolf. Continue his onslaught on the jungle. Cuz has managed to catch up just a little bit. It's Faker looking to clear out the minion wave. No real worry about what this Azir is doing, but does take a bit of damage from him. He will destroy this control ward, Cuz clearing out vision where he can. Ocean Drake going to be the next one. Cloud or Infernal will be our next Drakes. Is Teddy wants to get that turret plate, but he's not going to be able to.
I mean, Dynamics, they should know that this is not the way that they are really looking for, because I don't think there is a way that they can win against them in the late game. Especially, you're just farming on the mid lane against Corki as Azir.
Yeah.
And also bot lane, there is Aphelios. Yes, Azir and Azir also have a great late game, but when you think about the players, they are the late game players, T1.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Teddy and Faker are the late game. But like, if you talk about like late game champions, Faker and Teddy are the player version of that.
Yeah. They're playing late game champion, and also they are player of the late game.
Very frightening. And Teddy is so far ahead. He absolutely should not be this far ahead as an Aphelios in this lane. And even Faker doing fantastically well as far as the farm.
Yeah, exactly. And you should realize that there is Bard on bot lane, and Bard couldn't make any single roam.
I mean,
as
Faker's
a Bard.
got the package. Cougar is just absolutely dead. That was a fadeaway, but unable to actually make it work. Beyond was coming in as the package. I would have liked that to just be delivered to the Bard in order to grab a kill, but not going to happen. You can see T1, they're not going further than they need to at any point, because they know that if it gets to 35 minutes, they just win by default.
Yeah, I mean, I already told you.
The
thing about the T1 is they just don't need to do anything. They'll just win by the time.
It's exactly the kind of draft T1 needs.
Yeah. I mean, they really like it, and also it's working out because most of the LCK teams are just having rough time against T1.
Anyway,
just snowball in the early game because they're just way too strong, and like, yeah, I mean, when you think about the early game, there is not many of like accidents are happening on the lane, right? So
yeah, especially not for T1, absolutely. So Canna up here hasn't got any solo kills yet. In fact, hasn't got any kills at all, but he's got 9 more stacks on his cull before that one comes in. I have a feeling that like T1 just need to all build culls. I feel like it's the perfect T1 item. You know, you just invest. Invest into the later stages. Teddy very close to getting his Runar's Hurricane. I already done, as Faker's going to go back home. We'll see whether the Sheen can be purchased. And it's Stinger that comes in instead.
When you talked about 5 calls, I just wanted to see like 2 tiers from T1, you know, like
first back tier cull for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, especially on Corki, you can actually build up 2 tiers, you know. Like Bowman Immune and Archangel at the same time.
The double blue.
Double tiers. I mean, actually, one time when Ezreal was like having 2 tiers, that was one of the boring.
Oh, I know.
Boring.
And he was super busted as well. I'm glad that one got
super strong.
That actually came in at a World Championship, I believe. That might have been 2018, 2017, maybe. I don't know. Double tier Ezreal was yeah, pretty busted. Thankfully, not enough. So don't need to worry about it anymore. Beyond is going to just walk in and take away this Ocean Drake, and we're in for an Infernal Soul.
Yeah.
It's a good time here today, as Rich wants to stop Cuz from being annoying. Cougar moves on over. Not going to be able to save his ward, as Shirley going to pop down in the mid lane.
Yeah, and I think Dynamics realized that they are on a rush.
Oh, Tempered Fate's going to land onto Faker, but Effort. Oh, that's the 2-man play that we were looking for. Magical Journey Beyond is looking for it, but eventually gets there, gets exhausted. Shirley's going to be taken down, but Dynamics in the end actually works out relatively well for them. They do get the gold lead back, albeit very, very small. Cuz is going to steal away the red buff, but still Dynamics managing to fight, and that is looking better.
I mean, still great move by Dynamics. They got literally everything from the bottom side. They got first tower on the bot lane, they got Drake, and they got first tower on the mid lane. But still, in my head,
yeah,
and
is it enough?
My mind are telling me that this is not enough.
Okay, that's going to be the ulti out there from Cuz, who decides disengaging is what they want. Rich, Chain Lash, but Cuz is going to take the length. Like you say, he'll be absolutely fine. Faker's still wanting to fight this one, but Valkyrie's going to get him to safety. And I feel like this T1 squad is just, they don't want to fight yet.
No.
And they're just not letting Dynamics fight yet.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you, like, is it enough?
Yeah.
Against T1.
It's rough. It's real rough. Teddy is looking for it. Going to get that next item, I believe. And if Hurricane comes in and they're fighting for the next Infernal Drake, like, this is... Trinity Force is going to be done from Faker. He already has his transformation, as does Doctor, of course.
I mean, even though they are looking for the late game, I think T1, for the next Drake, I think they are going to just look for it 100%. I think Triforce is going to get
Teddy
completed.
and Faker are both above 11 CS per minute.
Yeah.
It's so silly, this team, man.
I mean, they just know that if they're just farming, they can win.
Yeah. And
never changes.
Is there ever a game that Teddy isn't farming extraordinarily well? His farm this season has just been unbelievable. Kind of gets controlled by the Krugs just a little bit. Beyond comes over and will help finish it off for him. Quick draws over that wall. A lot of pings out onto exactly where Beyond is. And map control, at least, is in favor of Dynamics. Having taken down all 3 of the outer turrets means the map is very wide, and that is absolutely what they want, as Effort just loves Hex Flashing, dude. Reminds me of iRove, now Cabby.
Yeah. I mean, I think they just need... Dynamics need some individual skills, like some intelligent play right now, because if they just ended up farming, then yeah, again, there's no way they can win.
But this is their biggest power spike. I think Kuzan does have enough money to go back and buy his Nash's Tooth. As you can see, core item purchases certainly working out here for Faker.
Oh, he cancelled.
Okay, yeah, Teddy looking for Beyond. That looks like a very, very strange hook. They do manage to get out of the way. Oh, Teddy caught by the Tempered Fate. Rich has a slicing Maelstrom as the box comes down, but 3-man, massive damage, and Kuzan gets the sweep. Faker trying to get into position as Kano looking to get himself out of there. Rich goes golden, Magical Journey set up. They want to get on top of Faker. There's the Kingslayer. Faker has to flash. Rockets coming out. There's Doctum. He wants even more. Canna moves on over. Doctum, yeah, you're done with this battle, my friend, as Rich dashes forward. Hot Faker takes down Faker himself, and now Canna could be in trouble. Dynamics a minute until the Infernal Drake win a big fight.
Okay, so as I mentioned, T1 is looking for the fight because they got enough of item, but their fight starting, like their engage was so weird. I mean, they could just back out after those 2 flashes. I mean, 1 flash by Graves. Like, it was already enough, but yeah, that Googer's Bard ulti was just perfect, and they delivered into Canna's ulti.
Yeah, I mean, taking that land was that was a rough decision to make. And Kuzan just comes out of a teleport and immediately gets like the perfect Emperor's Divide for the moment. Really, really well played by Dynamics. And this is exactly what we were talking about. This is exactly when they needed to fight.
Yeah.
And T1 walked into it. As Doctum would have died if Faker had hit that that ulti, which is unfortunate. Rich's Silas looking good. We maybe can add that to his champion pool.
Yeah, I mean, they could definitely fight because of their items, you know? They already have enough damage to just fight it out. But the way how they fought on the mid lane, that was just not a great way.
Yeah.
You just wasted so many flashes.
Oh dear, Abduct is going to be avoided there as Faker does have the package. Rich taken down to about half. As Hook is going to land onto Beyond. Tempered Fate not going to land at all as Faker picks up the kill onto the Silas immediately. Faker tells him exactly who the real Faker is. And he's got his Trinity Force building towards his Rapid Fire Cannon as that True Shot Barrage was a lot of damage. Faker is going to survive. And with Rich dead, should mean that T1 can get priority on this Infernal Drake. Honey Fruit just going to
looking
Faker
for
back
Basher?
up to full health. Oh, well, look, sometimes you got to throw a gauntlet, my friend. Maybe this is the gauntlet they want to throw.
Yeah, they're doing
I mean, there is a lot of vision here available for T1. It's a good stun from Guga.
They already know it.
Oh yeah, they absolutely do. I mean, there's Rift Scuttle vision.
Yeah, I mean, they dashed into it, so probably they thought that there is no vision, but there was a ward, the Pixel Brush.
Scary thing is the Faker got to go down bot lane. He had his teleport available. As that sidestep was really, really clean from Faker as well.
And Reach stacked on. So he must get some burst on that side.
Effort's Thresh is also real clean this
용보다
game.
바로 탑.
Okay, let's see whether he actually... Yeah, he
탑
does
좀만
have
봐줘.
vision
이거
on.
사이드 오페, 사이드 오페.
That
살살 봐줘.
was blind. That sidestep was basically blind.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean,
everybody.
he knew that Silas was there, so
Yeah,
probably
right.
predicted.
Still, great prediction.
But
out of
still,
Faker.
like, you know. And I'm not that surprised because it's just normal from...
Yeah, I know. I feel like we're a bit jaded on some of these amazing plays that do come out. Mechanically, I mean, Korea may not necessarily be winning world championships like we used to, but some of our players are still just extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, how can you imagine that like one player is still on the top after getting 3 wins?
Yeah, I mean, since
Or-
2013,
Yeah.
like, Faker is still that good.
Yeah.
It's 7 years of being basically the best. Like, yeah, Faker basically needs no introduction when it comes to being
Yeah.
awesome at this game.
I mean, that's why I think all the players, pro players, are just respecting Faker.
Oh, 100%. No one has a dynasty like this guy whatsoever. As not going to be able to steal away any Rift Scuttles as Dynamics, I think they're putting all of their cards into the Nasher. That's what they're thinking about at the moment, but Cuz moves on in. He's a big angry bear. Gets rid of all of the vision outside of that Rift Scuttler.
Yeah, and also I think it's really rough for Dynamics to just win it by rotation because they do not have silent champions.
Nope.
They are all set it up for the early game and early game rotation, but it's already done. But they showed up that they can actually win some team fight with their great mechanics and some like great response. So I think they just need to do something random that is not normal, like waiting in a one brush with a 5-man, or like just look for TP behind just randomly.
I think they just need to, if you fight around Guga landing a good Tempered Fate, that can change everything.
Yeah, because straight up 5v5, there's no way they can win it.
Yeah. And they shouldn't have to straight up 5v5,
No.
right? Like, Tempered Fate should be able to buy enough time for their massively high damage to be enough to get, like, a pick or two and then that changes the whole way the team fights. Like, I think a lot of this, if Dynamics are going to win, it's going to be on Guga and what he can actually put together.
But their vision control is still really great. You can see it from...
Oh,
like,
that one ward, though, for T1 is trolling Dynamics a lot right here as they do start up the Baron once again. T1 know exactly what's going on.
They are
Cosmic Binding not going to land. Sansol just put into position here. Dynamics are taking a fair bit of damage. Beyond just going to get out of there. Thankfully, Magical Journey is a thing. As effort, he was lining up a hook as the Temper Fate going to be avoided. That was an odd one. Opportunistic ultimate there. The Cosmic Binding was good. They're going to need to wait for that Temper Fate to come back up again. Like we were mentioning, it is so important. T1 actually have a poke advantage here as well, which is a weird thing to say against the comp that does have the Ezreal, but these rockets really are starting to hurt. Faker's Corki.
I mean, Corki was just already fed from the farming, so he already got the third item. Faster than Azir, by the way.
Yeah, Azir looking for his burning face in the Liandry's. He hasn't been back for a while. I think that Zuzan will have the money for it.
Completed.
He's in base at the moment, so just a couple of control ones. So he didn't actually have enough money for it, which is very unfortunate, especially with 35 seconds left on this Infernal Drake. And Teddy's got the perfect guns. He's looking for his Phantom Dancer. Has a luxury Hex Drinker as well against double AP. There it is. So Kuzan does have the Liandry's. Teleports available, but he's just going to walk back. So this Infernal Drake fight could be a big one. T1 looking for Soul Point. Dynamics looking to just continue to get ahead, and they do have a gold lead. We're talking about T1 just straight up winning, but Dynamics are ahead as far as gold.
Yeah.
But T1's champions are just getting better and better and better and better.
And I think it's all about poke or engage. I think if they do not engage in time, Faker is just gonna poke on them just freely with this package especially. And also, they should avoid straight up 5v5, and starting up the Drake might be a gamble from here.
Absolutely. I think Dynamics do have to go for it. I like that they're playing proactively.
Yeah, but I like it though. Yeah.
As Cuz getting into position, it's going to look like a 50-50 as Rich is going to pull away from the Drake, releashed. Dynamics are on full vision. True Shot Barrage is great onto 3.
Great positioning.
Yeah, to help soften them up. Just looking like a 50-50 on the Infernal Drake. Gets back into the pit, looking for the reset. This Dragon is very confused at the moment. Dynamics holding the Phalanx, steals away the Drake. And T1 just get out of there because they may as well. Teddy, oh my goodness, the chakram damage is nutty. Doc Dump does not want to take too much of that as Rich. Oh, trying to go aggressive. Tempered Fate onto 3, including his own teammate. But now Canna is going to show them what a slicing Maelstrom looks like. Double kill for Faker in the end. Rich trying to dash around the backline, but it's not going to be enough. And Teddy's still alive. Faker's still alive. T1, they might be able to just go to the Baron right here. As Faker looking for the 1v2. Flashes over, gets one of them. And that's the jungler, and that should lock down the Baron for T1. Oh, the close-in on every angle. Teddy picks up the turret aggro just to make sure that T1 are going to be okay. And now with a clean ace, T1 should be able to go over to this Baron. Not a clean ace, of course, only 3 members alive. But they should be able to grab the Baron if they want to. Oh, they decide not to. Never mind.
Yeah, this one I enjoyed. I mean, Kana saved the day again, by the way. Once again with his cannon flash ulti. That was just clean, and also that was great still.
I mean, Kuz just walked over and
by Kuz, like, that was great engage, but he was engaging on Corki with the package, by the way. So
yeah.
Is not able to just end it up clean. And also there was great reaction by Kana as well.
The zoning out of that ultimate from Kana was just amazing.
I mean, he saved the day again.
So
also, like,
this was ballsy as heck.
Yeah.
Out from Faker, but 100% worth, right? Like, you get rid of the jungler with the opportunity of going towards a Baron. Like, that is huge. Maybe they couldn't do the Baron because they missed out on Faker's damage. Sometimes you just want to be able to get an ace. So we check out Faker's point of view.
오면 볼게. 오면 볼게. 나 발키리 자리 좋거든. 봐봐 이거.
I have good positioning right now. Look at it.
좀만 봐봐.
Look.
볼만하네.
Yeah, I think we're winning.
정면 좋아.
Front line forward is good.
맞을게. 오케이.
Oh yeah, we won.
좀만 봐줘. 좀만 봐줘.
I wanted to see that bit, but we're going to see a bit of a fight here towards the bottom side. Dynamics Looking for Kana. Kuzan going to turn up. Mark of the Storm isn't going to come in time. Didn't have his stopwatch. As, bit early on that one, Kuzan. But Faker does have to Valkyrie out of the way, but there's a lot of years on the back of T1 right here. Easy double kill for Teddy, and he's going to take a land to get back towards this mid lane. Beyond patrolling the Baron. It was, you know, Rich and Kana both falling down, but you'll take a 2-for-1 any day of the week as both solo lanes are going to fall. As Dr. going the wrong direction, Cuz manages to get the stun that's going to make a very easy hook for Effort to land. It's Beyond trying to run away. Guga as well. He's got his meeps together as, the big bear is a frightening proposition. Beyond should make it to the base gate, has himself the extra blast cone. Thank you to the Infernal Rift. So he's going to survive, but every single carry is dead on the side of Dynamics, and T1 can just go towards the Baron if they want to. They may as well.
Yeah, and at this point, I think T1 is just enjoying the game and stalling on Dynamics because, yeah, it's really low chance they're going to lose.
You can see Beyond is in the area. They're trying to dive over to lock down this Graves. Flashes on in, but I don't think it's taken enough damage yet as they want to be able to kill Beyond first. Good heads-up smite there from Cuz, who wins 2 in a row. Right here, that was 100% a 50-50.
All chat, nice try, dude.
Oh, it's a roughie. It is definitely a roughie. And Beyond's had a good game. Unfortunately for him, it just hasn't been enough as Kuzan takes 1 auto attack from Faker and it costs him half of his health bar. Oh my god.
Styling, man.
Straight up outplayed, but this is the last rocket. So Kuzan is allowed to limp away from this one. Rich. The Cogmore and the Caitlyn here from Teddy is looking real good. And he's got a more of Malmortius. Rapid fire cannon there. May as well add some extra range onto your Caitlyn gun. We're going to have a look at this one once again.
I mean, that was great start by Dynamics because, yeah, as I mentioned, there's no way they can win 5v5 against T1. So, great pickup. But they also looked for Corki at the same time after that play. And he also missed time while Teddy was just walking into them. So, yeah, nice try, but it ended up really bad and worse.
Oh my god, Faker's items, dude. That's a Monka S. He's just doing so much damage.
Yeah. I just want to see one auto attack home.
I know.
That's all. That's all I want to see. Please step up and auto attack.
Well, Teddy's got Tristana Varus. Or Tristana Ashe. Or Jinx Ashe.
Jinx, yeah.
Yeah, whichever one you want. That's a very easy. Infernal Soul is now Rich. Takes half of his health bar and 1 auto attack from Faker through an exhaust. Cuz dives on in, but he goes golden. Is going to. What the hell was that? That was hilarious. Everett is huge, but Teddy just shows them how many years they've been in this game. 35 minutes, and T1 are going to secure the victory. There was no real doubt in any of our minds, I don't think, that the T1 weren't going to take this, but that's the kind of team fight that you want out of a team with this much respect in the LCK.
Yeah.
They will be able to take down the Nexus turrets. It was so patient, it was so calm, and they will take down the Nexus for a Game 1 win against Team Dynamics.
Yeah, whole game, I felt like it was already decided at minute 5, because at that moment already their mid and AD carry was just ahead in CS and just farming with no that. And it felt just so
inevitable.
Yeah, inevitable as well.
It's so scary, right? Like, you see T1, like, if you have a look, we'll have a look at the goal graph, it will come up relatively soon. But if you look at it, it'll be Dynamics are ahead for, like, a lot of that between 25 and 30 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
Dynamics actually had a lead, but it straight up did not matter because the champions that T1 picked for themselves were just way better at that time, right? Like, they just had so much damage out from their carries. You need to make a POG selection, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Effort played extraordinarily well this game.
Yeah,
but I think Faker's probably going to win it because he had some of those super plays that did look good, but the Thresh was so sick.
Yeah.
Like Effort, he has some like iffy games, right? You go into Reddit threads and like if T1 have ever lost, it's like Effort's so boosted, blah blah blah. You go into the T1 wins, it's like Effort is so good. I think he's like. At the moment, there are sort of 3 supports in the LCK that are super good. And that's Carrier, Beryl, and Effort. And Effort on a good day can certainly play toe-to-toe with those two. So I think he had a really, really good one here.
I mean, I think there is so many Hilly songs in LCK. Like,
Yeah.
that is crazy, man.
Well, Faker did a lot of damage.
Yeah, because of poke, and yeah, also Teddy, he was just farming. And I'm not sure if it's only 200 years of professional
200
experience, right?
200 years
more
of
than 200.
professional farming simulator.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
He would absolutely be their #1 player
Yeah.
for their farming simulator esports.
By the way, guys, Aphelios is getting nerfed again.
Well, I don't know whether he necessarily needs to, because
yeah.
I don't know whether he should have been able to win that particular game as easily as he did. 20 CS ahead as Aphelios into Ezreal Bard. That's a roughie. Let's see whether T1 are going to get it as we move to a game #2. That will be up right after the break. Team Dynamics is going to be a tough story. See whether they can win game 2. See you there.
일단 치고 일단 먹어 일단 먹어
먹으면 될 듯. 먹고 본다. 이거 다용이야. 한타 본다. 한타 본다. 이거 위에 온다. 위에
싸움
온다.
볼게 싸움 볼게
부산이 형 랜턴 타봐.
나 뺄게
나 들어갈게.
그만 맞아.
들어간다 좀만 봐줘
좋아. 다 잡았어.
잡았다
났다.
아 랜턴 타다가 죽었는데?
아, 나 이거 키보드 이상해. 자꾸 끊겨.
야, 피보드 바꿔라 그럼.
아 저번에 그냥 탑갱에서 내가 좀 그냥 아꼈다가 큐풀 막을걸
풀 빨리 썼으면은.
큐를 너무 빨리 썼어 아
아니, 풀 빨리 썼으면 잘했을 것 같은데.
그니까 풀이라도 빨리 썼어야 되는데
둘 중에 하나라도 했어야겠어.
뭔가 했어야지
둘 중에 하나도 못해서.
아, 돈이 너무 꼬인다.
아, 키보드 자꾸 끊기네.